After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 442. Today is Saturday, February 20th, 2021, as we are recording. I am Marleisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy, and we did not purposely match our colors today.
No, we used to do this all the time without any
Prompting?
No, without anything.
Planning.
Yes.
We don't coordinate clothing.
That would be weird.
It would be weird.
We welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us. If you are new, we're glad you found us, and we hope that you see something that will keep you coming back.
Can I mix my tea with your spoon?
Let me just mix it first.
Okay, thank you.
If you are returning, sorry about the stirring here. I want to get my sugar stirred up.
And I forgot to grab a spoon, so thankfully there's one spoon can work for both.
If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please feel free to become official on the YouTube channel. Just hit the little red button there that says subscribe, and maybe hit the bell so you get notifications, and that way you'll know when we have our podcasts up. And if you'd like to take part in all the alongs and the camaraderie and the fun stuff, the foon stuff, that's over at our home group, and that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and that is in the little box below the video. Okay. Let's see here. Did you want us? How many projects do you have?
Let me bring up my show notes, because I actually have quite a bit in my show notes. Like, I'm actually writing stuff in there again.
You write things.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like 8 projects.
I have 7.
Okay. I almost was at the same, but then I wasn't. So yes, 8. So I go first.
We were almost at the same, but then I wasn't.
Yep.
Me too. So, okay.
But it's not like you were like, I'm going to work on a project, and then didn't.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should pull that. Nah, I'm watching a movie. I don't think so. I did work. I've got a reasonable number of projects. So, okay.
So I do go first, but it means I don't want it to double. So, just means I go first. Okay. Well, that's cool then. In my Memento Mori mug, because it be Lent.
It be Lent.
We have the same mug. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're not clinking mugs because we tend to overfill our tea.
Yes, and I don't think you're supposed to click skulls. So,
you know, I think it was the Franks, when there were still more barbarians. They used to actually drink out of the skulls of their enemies.
Yes. Well, I wonder if that has something to do with like some of the Native Americans who would take a heart, or not Native Americans. It was Native Americans used to do it out of the animals, according to Dances with Wolves.
Well, I wouldn't take anything Dances with Wolves so seriously.
I think also some of the early tribes in Africa would take the hearts of their enemies.
Yeah, I do know that there are cultures, or were cultures, that did that, because
when
I was in nursing school, they talked about how prions, which can be very deadly, would be gotten from them eating the brains of their enemies, thinking to get their courage or wisdom or whatever.
Usually the heart is wisdom.
It depends on the culture.
Usually the heart, but I've never heard of a culture that has brains for the courage.
It might have been for wisdom. I can't remember.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been.
What I truly recall was that there would be this thing called prion in the brain, and they would get it. It's like a virus in ways, but it's like super crafty, and it always changes and things like that. And it's just really sneaky and awful. I wish I could remember a little bit more about prions. They were kind of cool.
Okay, then. That sounds kind of gross, actually. What tea are you having?
Well, in my, not Frankish, enemy of Frankish warriors mug, I'm pretty sure it was a Frankish barbarians. There were couple barbarian tribes that did that. I want to say. But this used to be a Jane Austen's tea tin, and then I put different tea in there and put Plum Deluxe labels all over it, hoping to disguise it.
Okay, what is it?
Well, I had to chew. I was trying not to be rude and show everyone the food in my mouth.
Fail.
Thank you for noticing. So
I didn't notice. I just figured I'd say fail.
Well, thank you for your support then. Plum Deluxe tea.
I do support.
This is one of the first teas. Actually, I think this was the first tea that I tried from Plum Deluxe.
Yeah.
When Laura Concert first suggested it. I'm pretty sure it's Laura Concert who suggested it. And I got a sample. I feel like I just got a sample. I must have gotten more than a sample of this tea, which is decaf reading Nook blend tea. And for a long time, I didn't have it again until recently. Because at that point, I didn't quite like the strong teas quite as much. But this has decaf black tea, although you can also get it caffeinated. Rosebuds, lavender, chamomile, love, gratitude, natural flavor, no caffeine.
And this is one of the real popular ones.
Yes. That was, I think, either by looking on their site or by Laura's suggestion, we tried this one first.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Oh, well then good, you can try it. Let me do a sip first.
We'll see if I like it, because I don't like a really strong.
Well, it's got chamomile too, though.
Yeah.
And no, not everyone likes chamomile. I was going to say everyone likes chamomile, but that's kind of a broad
Oh,
statement.
it smells good.
Well, it's got chamomile.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I think my Stroop is making it so I don't quite get the full flavor of it because it's a little too sweet.
Yeah, I'm not getting the sweetness from that.
No, it's not terribly sweet.
No. Okay, mine is in also my Memento Mori mug, Remember Death, for Lent. And this is Plum Deluxe Buttery Shortbread Herbal Tea. And this is honeybush tea, cocoa peels, blackberry leaves, flavor essences, love, gratitude, no caffeine. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. So that's this. Because we love Andy. He's amazing.
Because I totally didn't catch what you actually said. Okay, cool. Because I was zoning out thinking of my tea. I was like,
Here you go.
readers. I know I like this one.
Love this one. I didn't put as much sugar in it this time. I'm trying to come back just a little bit on my sugar if I can.
This one can handle it. I tend to prefer a bit more sugar, but it's only because I don't have a very good sense of taste because I don't have a very good sense of smell.
I do prefer a little more sugar, but I'm trying to cut back anyway because we've been having more tea.
Well, and Mom and I have also discussed the fact of the matter is she tends to like sweeter teas than I do, so she can cut back and maybe not notice it quite as much as I do. I tend to drink the very strong, dark teas. So if
They need more sugar.
They do need more sugar. If I cut back, it'll be like black coffee. Like just plain black coffee, like no frills.
I know there are people who like that, but
I really wanted to like coffee that way. I really did, but it hurt my stomach too much.
I
But I do kind of like the bittery taste, which is why I think I go for black teas.
right.
Really
Well,
dark,
I do
smoky
prefer.
teas.
And the good thing about this kind of sugar, we use kind of snobbish. We use the rock sugar, and so
Well, the other sugar you can actually taste.
Yeah,
the
this
sugar.
This doesn't taste like sugar. It just adds kind of another layer and a little
Yeah, it kind of
sweetness.
enhances the natural taste.
And also because it's at least in my head, because it's rock sugar. If you were to break it down, if I were to have two, I don't think it's actually two. I think it is 1.5
And we're saying teaspoons.
teaspoons. Yeah. Oh yeah, not tablespoons. What is it?
You just said 2, and you didn't give
No,
it.
but we do use those things that we use the tea for. Those are teaspoons.
I just used a teaspoon. Yours is a little bit more than a teaspoon. I think we determined it might have been 2 teaspoons, or maybe a teaspoon and a half. Your thing is not just a teaspoon.
My little thing.
Yeah, your little perfect, whatever it is, tea thing.
Okay.
I literally use a teaspoon off of one of my cooking teaspoons.
Oh right. Mm-hmm.
Because then I know exactly what I'm putting in there. So we might even be putting in a similar amount,
yeah.
simply because that's more than a teaspoon. I'm looking at it.
It says a teaspoon.
That's more than a teaspoon.
It says 1.
It just says 1 cup of perfect tea. That says nothing about a teaspoon. I'm pretty sure that's more than a teaspoon.
It looks bigger than a teaspoon.
It looks bigger than a teaspoon.
Yeah.
It might be like a teaspoon and a half.
Maybe.
It could be as much as 2 teaspoons, but it doesn't look as much as 2 teaspoons.
No.
My one from David's Tea is 2 teaspoons, and that's bigger than that.
That's bigger than that one, yeah.
That's bigger than that one. So I'm thinking it's like a teaspoon and a half, because that's definitely more than a teaspoon, I think.
Teaspoon and a quarter, maybe. I'll have to check and see.
So,
But anyway, now moving on. So now that you've had... Oh, and regarding the tea and the parks that we talked about...
we are planning to do it.
We are planning on doing it. We have 8 teas, I think it is.
Yeah, we did.
So,
it might have been 9.
no, it was 8.
It wasn't.
It was 8.
Okay.
So we have 8. So we have 12 months, 8. We're in our second month. We will get to it relatively soon. Just with all the things we still have to clear out Talia's room so she can get that desk in. So
And the problem in February is actually a really rough month for me.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a lot of weather, and we've had a lot of weather. Mm-hmm. So.
And those of you who are in Texas, I hope you've got your
Yes.
power back and your water back. I said a prayer for you this morning. I hope you all are doing all right. Rena, Sue, some of you people out
y'all.
there.
I know there are a
Yeah.
couple people in the comments, a couple of newer people who've been commenting.
Yeah, who and I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember if you were in.
One of them, her name begins with T, I want to say. She commented, like one of the last ones to comment.
Okay,
I think she was in Texas.
Okay, well, if you are having issues with weather, whatever it is, but particularly Texas, who's having such a hard time, we're praying for you. So, okay, moving forward we have a new along to talk about, and this is a collaboration between Wombat of Doom and B-Wing. That's Patty and Brittany. And this, I'm going to read it because this is their rules. We are hosting it in terms of we are giving them...
We're providing a space.
Yeah, the platform.
Basically, they're renting a space.
For nothing.
Renting.
For nothing. They're nothing. We are allowed... They're borrowing.
Yeah.
That's better. They're borrowing. So I'm going to read it exactly because...
Oh, what is it when they're reserving a room?
Yes.
Like you do it like a library or
Yes,
something when
yes.
you're doing a study group.
Yes. So I'm going to read this exactly because these are not my rules. They are their rules. So I don't want to miss anything. All right. So she says, "Welcome to the first, possibly annual, Comfort Along. As this is my first time organizing a craft along, please bear with me." Yes, that's a reference. So if you get it,
I guess you'd say that a lot, don't you?
uh-huh. If you get that reference, put it down in the comments. We'd like to hear it. The main purpose for this event is to make specific items for donations to comforting crafts. Okay, so this is the Comfort Along, all right? This along will run from March 1st, 2021 through midnight June 30th.
March 1st, 2020 what? What was that again?
Don't be obnoxious. March 1st, 2021 through midnight June 30th, 2021, which means if you go into July, it's done, all right? No previous whips will be allowed, so these are all new items. Items eligible for the Comfort Along can be knitted, crocheted, or loom knit. Specific items they are looking for. They are concentrating on dishcloths, washcloths, and hats. Hat sizes can be from young child through adult. There is a greater need for boys' colors or gender neutral, so please keep that in mind. Patterns like the Fits the Whole Fam hat by Cozy Up Knits are perfect since they are so stretchy and they are suitable for many sizes. Chatter and pictures will all be in the same thread, one whip per project per week. Post the FO whenever it's completed. If you are also in the Comforting Crafts Facebook group, feel free to post your pictures there. Prizes will be randomly generated through PHN's normal method from the Comfort Along thread. So far, we have 2 skeins of Dishy yarn, a dishcloth pattern booklet, and handmade greeting cards by B-Wing. More prizes may be added, so stay tuned for updates. There will be at least one from either my shop or from Etsy. Well, I'll have to talk to Patty and B-Wing and see what I can do for them. If I do a prize like that for the overseas people, if you get pulled for something like that, I'll either give you something that is digital or an Etsy card if you want to do that, because right now it's a little prohibitive for me to send things out to certain overseas
Right,
people.
shipping has
just been horrendous, and so and it's not because shipping is horrendous necessarily, but because the one thing that makes it cheaper is not going every place it used to go. Mm-hmm. So for right now, if you're overseas, for the most part, if it's for me, I don't know about Patty and Brittany. I'll have to talk to them. I will probably make it an Etsy card or something. Okay. Hashtag for Instagram will be PHN Comfort Along 2021. Please contact Brittany for the mailing address for the completed items. Okay, so this is all, I think Patty has this all in the thread already. It's called the Comfort Along. All the information will be there. And what I said about the Etsy card refers only to my prizes if I donate. Okay, if I donate a
She went
solid.
off script.
I went off script, okay? Now, so that sounds like fun. It starts March 1st. So all of you people who want to continue with Ready, Set, Go for another few months, and you're doing charity stuff for Brittany, that can kind of, feed your desire to start all the things. Okay?
I mean, we're going to all start all the things anyway.
Yes, we are, but that's just another reason.
I mean, seriously, who self-control? Psh.
What's that? Okay, now the
There'll be more on that later.
The PHN Christmas All Year Long Cal 2021. Okay, this one runs from January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021, because this is our year long. We usually change this every year or two. So this will go, if it's January 1st, 2022, we're done.
Is this our fourth year long?
We had two charities. Two teas, one charity, so this is our fourth. Okay. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crochet. Previous whips will be allowed but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures in the same thread, one whip per project per week, the FO whenever it's completed, and prizes, we do have them. I was going to pull them and said,
For reasons.
I think because I figured the next one is going to be close to March 1st. We'll probably do it March 1st. So whatever the March 1st one is. Any FOs in Franciscan Gypsies Designs, Lady Frina Creations yarn or my shawl pattern, or Lollipop Girl yarns or Laura Concert designs will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. And if you use one of those 2 featured yarns with a featured pattern, the FO gets 3 chances at a prize. You are responsible for your own multiple postings. The hashtag is PHN Christmas all year 2021 on Instagram. If an FO uses 50 yards or less, please post with another FO of 50 yards or more. Okay? Operation Christmas Child or any projects going to Christmas donations is eligible for 2 chances at a prize, including bee wings stuff, the things that you donate to Brittany, and what's the other thing? The pregnancy center, I think we said, was the other one.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
We usually do.
Yeah. And projects that are made predominantly in the Christmas colors of shades of red, blue, green, silver, gold, purple, and pink, along with white, of course. Okay, and those are 2 chances at a prize for the FO only. Okay, so that takes care of the Christmas along. We do have the first quarter prize is a donation by Looney Hiker, who is Pat. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
It's her new Cassie Nicole hat. Looks like it's a colorwork hat. Really pretty. Okay. And
I think it was shown at the beginning of one of the more recent podcasts.
Yes. And then the other one is it's 2 skeins of Cloudborne yarn, taupe color. One skein is in the skein and one is wound up. So there's 2 for totals, and that was donated by Margaret, who is Fiber Hermit. Okay, those are the first quarter prizes. Now,
with everyone doing charity type stuff, cotton might be useful.
It might be. It's really pretty color.
Mm-hmm.
Try to breathe in my tea.
Never a good thing.
I can drink.
Presumably.
Yes. Okay, PHN Ready, Set, Go, Cal 2021. That one is about a third of the way through as we're actually it's about 2/3 of the way through as we're heading into the end of February. Today's the 20th, right? So yeah,
Indeed.
We have about a week and a half of February left, and then all of March. So this runs January 1st through March 31st, and in this particular along, no whips are allowed. This is where you start all the things, okay? Let's see here. All the rest of the things here are pretty much the same. Same featured patterns and featured yarns. Let's see here. The hashtag on Instagram is PHN Ready, Set, Go 2021. And the prizes for this, we have a project bag that has clear sides to it, as near as I can tell. to explain what it is, and 2 skeins of Caron Simply Soft. One is a light green and one's a darker green, and both of these things were donated by Margaret, who is Fiber Hermit. So thank you, Margaret, very, very much for your generosity. She sent us a great big box full of stuff. Okay. PHN Out with the Old 2020. Okay, that's for last year, but we're doing it this year. This one is January 1st through February 28th, okay? And there's no new projects for this along. This is when you're finishing those things that you couldn't bear to frog for the Ready, Set, Go. And so this is where you work on them to finish them up. And basically, again, the rules are pretty much the same. If you have projects that have my yarn, the featured yarns or featured patterns in them, and they're already started, they can be eligible here for multiple chances at a prize. All right? Let's see here. For the usual, the usual way. You are responsible, as always, for your own multiple posting, telling us the name of the pattern and or yarn in use. Okay? Let's see. Hashtag PHN Out with the Old 2020 on Instagram. And for this one, the prizes were also donated by Fiber Hermit. That's Margaret. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
1 skein of Rubber Dub Dub. It's a white, like a super chunky. It's huge. And she thought that maybe it'd be great for some kind of charity project. I think it's very pretty. It's this really, not the cream, but the actual white. It's very, very pretty. And then 2 skeins of Peyton's Canadina, like Canada, but Canadina, chunky. So 2 skeins of that, and it's green. Okay. Now,
Canadiana?
Canadiana, yeah, Canadiana. I feel it. Is that everything? I think I got everything, right? Because I put the new one.
I mean,
at the head.
I don't listen a whole lot during this part.
I think I got everything because I actually made that bigger.
Okay, cool.
I was afraid I was going to have major issues with my show notes because my computer refused to send my show notes to my Kindle at first, and then when it finally came through, I got all these boxes. It looked like gibberish. It looked like something maybe from the old computer codes we had X's and O's, but only it was all O's.
Remember, there's that one font where it's just like boxes and the really annoying fonts where I don't even see the point of it.
Code. I just... So I pulled it up this morning and sent it through, and it went through, so I was happy about that.
Yes, yay.
Okay, rough drafts.
Yes.
We're only 21 minutes in.
Oh, that's not going to last.
Okay.
Those of you people who like the shorter podcasts,
enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it while you can, because we don't have that kind of
Control.
focus.
So good.
Generally, if it's that controlled, it's because one or both of us do not feel well.
Yeah.
Or we're rushed for some reason. Although actually rush doesn't seem to mean anything either, because we were presumably rushed when your desk was supposed to come in, and we still ran long.
Because it's what we do.
So, okay. I'm going to run through designs in progress first. First one, this one is really close to being able to go in testing phase. I ran out of yarn, and thus had to order I played Yarn Chicken and lost. I had like 10 rows left of a dishcloth, so.
You fought the Yarn Chicken, and Yarn Chicken always wins?
That absolutely doesn't work.
I know, it's a song by,
You're trying to do I fought the law and the law won, but it...
I fought authority, authority always wins. It's a John Mellencamp quote.
Oh, you see, I was thinking you were referencing...
Oh, you're thinking... I fought the law and the law won. Yeah.
I fought the law
I was thinking,
and the law won.
It's like, authority always wins. I fought authority, authority always wins.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of music, so Mellencamp.
Yeah, I like him. I think it's John Cougar Mellencamp. Somebody can tell me if it's not.
If they could have heard you, because you kind of underbreathed it. So, TARDIS bag, design in progress. Ooh, cookie shoulder. Probably going to be released as a test to the patrons first, and then if I still have slots open, it'll be open to everybody else for testing after that.
Okay. In my Pullover Mickey Mouse bag is my Spoiled Bunny stump, of course, because it always goes first for the moment. And I didn't do a whole lot, just basically what I did on the podcast, but it gets shown because I did work on it. So here it is. Still a pretty big skein. It's about the same size skein as a Miss Babs. It's about 500 and some odd yards. Let me see here. It's a Cerbel scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. I call it the Spoiled Bunny Stomp scarf, and that's because Taya threw a spoiled bunny temper tantrum until I changed this.
I was right though.
And so
It looks gorgeous.
It does look gorgeous. So I'm using Test Designer yarns, Superwash Merino Worsted. Don't know the colorway. Excuse me. Taya gave me the yarn for Mother's Day a few years back from Maryland Sheep and Wool.
And it's been quite a while.
Yeah,
so.
it's been a while. It's been in multiple projects and been pulled out.
I thought it was in only one other project. I didn't think you tried it or anything else.
I think I tried it in 2 other projects, but I'm not sure. I think that's the case.
I was going to try to breathe in my drink for a moment, but I decided
That's my
against it.
shtick. You have to do something else.
Well, I decided against it. I just let it tickle and then go back. Excuse me. So, in my Pullover Bird stained glass Batman bag is a design in progress.
Design in progress don't take long enough.
Nope, they don't. Your turn.
I have to finish my stitch. Excuse me. Just one more stitch here. There. Okay. My next project is the Ninja Turtle Baby Blanket project from the Ninja Turtle Baby Blanket by Lisa Vanilla. This is another one I didn't really work on much. I just kind of worked a little bit on it. My husband said, "Why do they have those colors?" I said, "Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." So
He's probably like, okay.
yeah, okay, whatever. I said, "It's going to be lined in yellow." I said, "Yeah." I said, "For April." He said, "April?" I said, "Yeah." April on the cartoons had yellow, not the one we last watched.
Yeah, the coveralls she would wear.
Yeah,
Not quite sure why she wore those.
I don't know.
Supposedly she's a reporter. It's not really a reportery outfit.
Yeah, it doesn't really let you
Like
blend.
it looks like she's a mechanic.
Yeah. Okay,
So
there we
I'm
go.
really not quite sure why she's wearing like this bright yellow monstrosity.
I think I only did like a row and a half, maybe 2.5 rows on this, but it's getting close. So you can see the orange, you can see the blue. Oh, now you can see the colors a little bit better.
Yeah, this is showing up really nice as purple. Yeah, actually, whatever we've done with the lighting today, maybe it's the snow making it a little bit brighter.
I don't know.
Because you do get the light from the snow from the other window.
And this is a sport weight. I was gonna do this. I think they called for a worsted for this. I think, and I didn't want to do it that big.
Uh-huh.
But this is gonna be a pretty good
Well,
size
because
anyway.
it wasn't meant to be a baby blanket initially. You decided that you,
Yeah.
or it was.
Well, this is still pretty much a kid's blanket.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
I think they meant it to be like a lot bigger though.
Yeah. I just.
Which I can't imagine having something that much bigger than that. That just
Well,
except
not
in a kid's room.
in a kid's room. Yeah. So,
Just not my thing.
and that's probably gonna be go off to Evan's house or something. Evan's
Right.
home.
Yeah. Yeah. Some kid will love that at its home. Okay, so this has been my primary project for most of the
You
week.
dumped your water over.
It's closed, but
Okay. I just know it was one of the ones that had fizzy stuff in it.
it is. But it's almost done.
Okay.
So that protects it. Now I have a space to put it.
We don't want Mount Vesuvius in my room.
No, the one over there would be the problem. But it's far enough away. Sorry. So in my Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival bag is the design in progress. This is the main design I worked on. I was able to add a new color.
Yay.
But yeah, this is going to be a while because it's a big pattern.
Can you tell better now that the color's been added?
Yes, a little bit better. I mean, it's going to be subtle, but I'm glad I decided not to go with the other pink because it would have been even worse.
Right.
And then it would have also been a little bit more jarring when the yellow was added. So
Okay.
I'm
so
happy with the color change. And I did not have to purchase more yarn for it.
Yay,
I
for the purchase
had
yarn.
the creamsicle already. Actually, I think the creamsicle is one of my earliest colors I had. I think someone gave it to me because I don't see that would have been a color I would
I
purchase.
think Davina had it.
Yeah.
Because Davina got, when we cleared out our acrylic, most of our acrylic, we gave it to Davina, what she wanted, and that was probably I think it's one of the ones we gave her. I don't know how. Oh, she also buys her own acrylic.
Right, she does. And I'm wondering if she had given up some of that or if maybe I had purchased it for someone was having a baby or something, I purchased it and fit because I did make a couple of baby things, and it might have been left over from someone else's thing. Because it's not normally a color I would have picked. I would have gone with the pinks or the blues for baby things.
Yeah, that's not normally a color either one of us go with because it's just not. It's a nice color for babies. But
it is, but if I tend to go, a lot of times I gravitate towards the pinks, the blues, and the lavenders for babies. Even though I like green is very nice, I tend to gravitate toward the three for whatever reason. I like yellow would be very nice. I just have a tendency.
I'd usually go for babies pink or light blue, but I will do a lavender. I will do a yellow, and I will do that really pretty kind of light mint green.
Yeah, that was the kind of green I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to give Lion Brand Pound of Love. They do have quite a nice supply of selection of yarn.
That's kind of a light yarn. I mean, it's not real.
It's about a DK.
Yeah. That was my point. You know, when I first started.
I mean, they call it worsted, but it's fairly light in comparison to a lot of acrylic yarns. A lot of acrylics tend toward the Aran.
Because when I first started doing I
think they call it a light worsted.
When I started doing that kind of stuff, when I first started with Red Heart and stuff like that, it was much heavier.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is. This one's going to go back in the bag.
Oh, because it's your other Cerebel coming out?
Yep. Let me see here. I can do this one later when I'm watching TV or something. Okay, in my large Plover Bird teacups on a red bag with polka dot top is my other Cerebel. This is the Walk in the Woods stole from the Cerebel pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And this is Spinway Farms yarn, a giant skein, which is approximately 840 yards of worsted. So I think it's the Bryce colorway. And you can tell that this is the one I want to work on because this skein is smaller than the other one. And I started this after. I think.
I do believe you are correct, but I'm not completely sure.
October 18th.
Oh, you actually write the days you start things? Good for you. I keep meaning to, and then I get distracted.
I don't always.
I'm happy when I remember to update my bags.
This will start October 26th.
Yeah, I was trying to do that for a while where I'd be like, I started this day. And I'm usually better about when I'm designing something. But when I just start something because I want to start it, I don't always remember to put a start date.
What did I do with my hook for this? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, this one's making progress. It's getting quite large. You can see that my hook is stuck in here. I could probably stop now if I wanted to.
I would say keep going till the end.
Oh, I'm going to go.
You're going to get a nice.
I am going to go to the end of it. So, I like this very, very much. We'll see what becomes of it when I'm finished. It might be my mother's or it might be mine. I'm not sure. These are my mom's colors.
But you have been gravitating toward the greens.
Yes, I have. So, and I'm using an I hook, no, an L hook with this. So I'm using probably a hook that's a little larger than I need to for this. But that's okay. I like the drapiness to it.
Well, you do tend to like it a little more drapey. Okay, I think it's the next design now. I think this might be the last design, though.
I don't want to lose
Yes, this is the last design I have to show. Everything else I'll be able to actually show. So, I barely worked on this. I worked, like, part of... It's got a chart with repeats, and I did, like, one repeat in the chart in the row. Something like that. I got distracted looking up patterns.
Well, this one...
So, this is in my Silver Shirred USA Oops Christmas bag.
Is that a Christmas thing, or...?
It is. It is.
It is,
Well, no,
okay.
kind of-ish. Kind of-ish.
Kind of-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, right. Yes, we know. We'll probably... Maybe you'll show it on the Patreon thing.
Patrons have seen it.
That's right, they have. They'll get to see progress.
Nah, such as it is.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to work on. That's why I wanted to get it done. Okay, this one, in my Knitting's My Bag, Monet bag, is probably the last time you're going to see this. It's not finished. I didn't even get past the gauge swatch. This is my Comfort Yourself with Your Music sweater from the Little Women Knits collection. Now, I want to make a caveat here. I just don't want to knit it right now. I'm not sure I'm ready for that level of knitting for a sweater. Okay, I have to learn how to knit a sweater before I can learn to put all the other things in. So I did work on the
And also, right now you're having problems with focusing and stuff.
Yes. So Taya helped me measure the gauge swatch, and I was at 17 instead of 19.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So 17 stitches.
So her gauge is looser than what was required.
Yeah. So I would have to go.
And it just might be that
up a needle.
You would need to go down a needle.
Down a needle.
And it might just be because you and Joanna Johnson just don't have a similar gauge. You might have a similar gauge with somebody else.
Right. So this is what it looks like, but I will be taking this out. I already know, I think, what I'm going to do with this. So
she has plans.
I have plans. But I did work on it a little bit, so I wanted to show you. It will be coming out. Didn't want to give Allison a conniption by getting any distance and then pulling it out. Poor Allison is never going to live it down. Hi, Allison. We love you and we miss you.
Yes.
So, yeah. So this one goes here.
Yeah, there are no plans to do, like, dramatic sweater rippings a la eon ago.
No.
And that wasn't her to do, it was me.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have been able to quite bring yourself to do it.
I have done bigger projects, but I forget what it was, where I took a whole bunch of stuff out. I forget which one it was. I only did it once.
Yeah, I was going to say, because really it's not usually something that you would do. You would find somebody who would take it. And I did, but the man didn't want it.
Right.
I've
never done anything that was almost finished.
Oh, yeah, I had one sleeve left.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I was in the last sleeve. Yeah. But you ended up with the winner. You've used that yarn that I reclaimed quite a few times. Okay, so...
What yarn was that?
It's the Inkwell.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty yarn.
In
fact, I think I put some of that in the package where you're going to do my Dobbin wood.
Yep. Yes, you did. So, and once I work on my Dobbin wood, my other one, finish that one, and if I actually work on it, will get finished. It's so close.
I figure that my Dobbin wood will maybe get to me for my birthday or Christmas next year. Maybe. I'm not in any rush.
But distractions. Anyway, in my Silver Shed USA PHM Faces bag is my, well, I call it very creatively a colorwork tunic for me, but the pattern is a tunic with Valdres pattern, and it's from the Hand Knits from Norway book by Karen Marie Vinhay. I actually did make a fair amount of progress. I feel like I kind of doubled where I was before.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you did make a lot of progress. I like that. That would look good on Daddy.
Isn't it really pretty, Heather? And if I had it free, I would have.
This has a kind of a lavender undertone to it.
Yeah, this is a shepherd's wool. Mm-hmm. And the colorway... Now, I tend to love shepherd's wool's colors. I can't remember if shepherd's wool is one of the ones that doesn't list it on there or not. Oh, no, they do. Frosty blue.
That's really pretty.
And I have a fondness for shepherd's wool. I love the way it feels. I love the way it heathers.
But that's not bad for a non-superwash.
Yeah, isn't it? And I tend to prefer their heathered ones.
Yes.
Although I've used their non-heathered ones and I like them as well. But their heathered one, I have a really pretty red sweater in one of their heathered ones that I knit. So, I've had this yarn a very long time, and I was delighted to be able to finally use it. For people who are newer to the podcast, I used to be primarily a sweater knitter. My first serious knit project, well, my very first knit project is a knit pig that's somewhere around here. Oh, there you are, Piggy.
Flying pigs.
Flying pig. He was my very first knit project.
Pigs have wings.
So he was my very, very first knit project. He's a little ball inside of him. He needs to get a little bit more love and attention than I give him because he was the one who started it all. But after him, I cast on 3 knit sweaters. One colorwork, well, similar to this. It was from my grandmother. And then one was a cabled sweater for me, and then one was a plain sweater for my grandfather. So I used to be primarily a sweater knitter, and I didn't start small.
Yeah.
So, stay. But that's all I really have to show with this one. I'm a long ways from the color work because, I mean, these are US 3s. Actually, I need to measure pretty soon because there's a point where I have to start thinking about increases or decreases or something. And I always forget about that. Well, I'm happily knitting away. So I'm done with that. I'm just
Okay,
measuring now.
Let me just do this before I forget, because I forget that stitch. It doesn't allow my edge to look correct. So let me just... I have to figure out how to incorporate this in a pattern, because I really like it. So let me just...
4 3/4. I am using the little book that Emma gave me for my notes.
I've got my book in a bag. I don't want to use it. It's too pretty.
You're kind of defeating the purpose of it if you don't use it, though.
But it's so pretty.
Mine is still pretty and it's being used. Did it decrease its prettiness? I think
Then
not.
Then it won't be ready to use anymore. Okay, this one is in my Kickaboo Holiday Owls bag. And I thought I might finish this one, but then again, like I said, I had been working on things, and I looked at it, and I said, So, and I'm not the same kind of, it wasn't meh, it was just like, difference there. There's a subtle difference between meh and So, this is, it's almost to the amount of inches. This should be finished. If I sit down and do it, I can finish it this week. It's just a little preemie hat.
I'll go back. I just want to say from cast on.
So that takes care of that.
I just want to make sure I was measuring from the right spots. Oh, good. I have about an inch to go. I feel like I've had an inch to go for a little while.
Remember when I was
Inch and 3/4.
when I was doing the handbrake, that last like inch and a half just went forever. And
Well, I'm
ever.
actually not terribly worried about it. I just want to make sure I didn't overshoot the mark.
No, but remember how long it took? And the handbrake was, I think, the first pattern that wasn't a toy that Kay did, KF Jones. I think it was the first one. And I actually did that pattern. And it's a beautiful pattern. I made it a cowl because she had the option.
Right. Apologize. Okay.
Daddy said he would have taken it if I hadn't made it a cowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you as yet made a scarf version for him?
No. I think it's on like size 4s. It would drive me nuts.
You would not
Of course,
survive this
I
sweater.
could just use a different yarn and up the needle size and then not do it as long.
You might want to not do it as thick either. You have to do the maths to make sure that you don't mess up the repeats
Right.
at any point. Because
Well, I could contact Kay and said, hey, what are the repeats on this? If I want to make it a bigger yarn.
Mom, I could tell you.
I suppose you could. Do it myself?
Yes, because asking Kay is totally doing it yourself.
Getting the information myself.
Okay.
I probably will just ask Talia. But anyway.
Anywho, next for me is in my. I am sorry. I feel like there's fiber or something around my nose.
Well, you're using that kind of wool, so.
Right. Although this one really doesn't tend to like put little floaties in the air or anything. Not like some I've knit with. Not this one. This one. Eep, come here. Come here. In my Knitter's Magic pretty bag. I don't know what else to call this.
And flowers bag.
Okay. I'm saying it's a pretty bag. It's a pretty soft bag.
It is pretty bad. The one that's really soft is the one that Davina has.
Well, I have also a soft brown one in my room.
Yeah.
But it's holding something. I don't remember what it's holding.
I have a soft one too.
But in this bag is the project I call Canary Song. And the pattern is Comfort Yourself with Your Music. And it's found in the Little Woman Knits book by Joanna Johnson. So I am using Miss Babs in the colorway Squash Blossom. Yes? Okay. And
Not butternut squash.
a little bit
Well,
of
that's pretty.
progress.
Very pretty.
So
Very pretty.
I do love this color, and I'm delighted that I have so many things because I have part of a shawl that has this color, and then I have I've got a hat in this color. I've got a different shawl that's completely in this color. I tend to like knitting this color. I know I've knit more things with this color in it. I know I've used it in, like, it's part of color with hats and all sorts of things. It's one of those colors that if I have it, I put it in stuff because I really like it. So, that got some love.
Okay. Okay, let's see here.
this morning, but it still counts.
I don't know.
I almost was equal to you, but I really wanted to work on that.
Let's see here.
I had this weird feeling I would bypass you if I worked on it.
Like I said, only because I decided not to work on something last night. Okay. In my bags, but also Granny Fireflies bag, which I keep saying I have to switch out because it's not quite big enough for this. For something else in it. This is my bag and wrap project from the Burrow Wrap pattern by K.F. Jones. And I did a little bit on this yesterday during Talia's home PT. I'm in the middle of a row, so...
Not yesterday.
Not yesterday?
Not yesterday. It might have been Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Today is Saturday.
I mean, not Saturday. Sorry.
Thursday.
Thursday. Whatever day the day before yesterday was.
So you can see that it's grown a little bit. I'm in the middle of the row, so it's kind of hard to see. But the color's really pretty. I'm using Miss Babs yarn for this. I think I'm using Miss Babs yarn for this. Dragonflies. I'm sorry. Dragonfly fibers, Kelpie, and some stash yarn. That might be Miss Babs. And the needles are US 7s. Because apparently I like those. I had to look for my US 7s to start a project. So here we go. This is... I have a little further to go on this particular color, and then I'll switch out. But right now, it's a relaxing knit.
Which is nice.
You know, you just kind of sit there and go. Now, the next pattern, I had to see what she's doing a little differently on that. Because I think she alternates between two different patterns.
I can't tell you because I didn't get that far.
Okay.
Because that was right before my surgery that I started
Right.
that. And I with the thought process that I would work on it post-surgery. And I just never got around to it.
And I've got, these are the colors I have. I don't know if you can
So
see
I've
that.
never gotten very far.
It's kind of blending into the inside of the bag. But, yeah, there's a whole bunch of colors in here. And I think I'm just going to kind of pull them willy-nilly. I'll show Taya before I have to get a second opinion, then I do what I want. But anyway, we'll see what happens with the colors. I'm enjoying this. This is a fun pattern. I like Kay's patterns. The ones, because she gives you the opportunity to kind of choose what you're comfortable with and then go from there. So if I choose something I'm comfortable with, it takes me a while, but I'll finish it.
Right.
Because I finished her sock knitter, her handbrake. I think I'll finish this one. Did I finish
There's a few designers that we will go back to
Kay is one of them.
consistently.
Kay is one of them.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so now this is where you're going to see that I have not had self-control. And this is also where you're going to see that my roots are showing. I'm going back to my roots.
It's part of your roots. I consider your roots something else, but
What do you consider my roots?
toys.
But you see, I didn't become a serious, well, my roots for knitting.
Okay. I will give you that.
Because that's probably the most accurate. Yes. And for a long time, I was primarily a knitter. I'm still primarily a knitter. Okay, so new project, 'cause reasons. That's literally 'cause I wanted to, and I had the yarn. All of my sweaters with a yarn were purchased during a period of time where I was primarily a sweaters knitter. I didn't need a pattern in mind when I picked up yarn. I just was like, sweater's worth. Oh, that looks like a sweater's worth. Yay! Now, I think I might have actually picked this up for a reason. And I can't remember what in the world I picked it up for. Because this amount wouldn't have been for the sweater for my grandmother because that was the green yarn.
Which I have.
Yes. So this is Andean Treasure from Knit Picks. It's Sapphire Heather. This is a really lovely, soft baby alpaca. I'm pretty sure it's baby. Yeah, 100% baby alpaca. Beautiful heather. And I went ahead and I am so glad I had ripped out the yarn I had in this project originally way back when. I originally had, if you recall, and I had to rip it back because I did the wrong size. I circled something wrong or something.
Just remember that. Okay. Go ahead.
So this is the Anne sweater. I made sure that I marked all the right sizes this time, and my gauge swatch was spot on this time, which made me so happy because I actually had to work for the gauge swatch last time, I think. And actually this yarn fits a lot better to the sweater.
And she would wear that color.
Yes, she would. I think that my sparkly, my black one with the red sparkles, It's going to be a while for me to find something that fits it, but this is perfect for the simplicity of the sweater. For the elegant simplicity of the sweater. There we go. I mean, I'm still building along. So it's there's not a whole... Work was definitely done, but it's curling. And it's not far enough to really be able to hold itself straight by its own weight. But yeah, this is... I think I'm going to really enjoy having this. And of course, I totally need to have, you know, another sweater on the needles. So yes, there's that.
All right, let me just finish this, and I will show what I've got here.
Oh, that's in my Silver Thread USA Kitties in the News bag. And I'll give you your news story while she's finishing that. So, today's news story is Colorpoint gives birth to Great Dane. News that shook the medical community was released early this morning. Chelsea at Colorpoint, weighing in at 3 pounds, gave birth to a son, 6-pound George Great Dane. Chelsea explained that it was not a difficult pregnancy and that she was positively glowing the entire time. Her only disappointment was that she was hoping for a large litter with the size of that belly. Well, Chelsea, you can't get much larger than a Great Dane. The suspected father, Chesney Danish, was unavailable for comment.
Wow.
And there is Chelsea and her Great Dane.
Okay.
This bag never ceases to amuse.
Yeah,
oh, hey, here's a better picture. It's one that's not on the corner.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is... Let's see here. Okay, this is a start as well. This is in my Turbo Knitter 64 Mickey and Minnie on a Yellow Field bag. Probably recognize this from my prizes for a while there. And this is also the Anne shawl.
Is it?
The Anne sweater.
Is it bad that when you said Turbo Knitter 64, all I could hear in my head was when I'm 64?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the same shawl, and this is the
Sweater.
green sweater. This is the same yarn that Talia is using, the one she was talking about.
Yeah,
This
I kind
is
of
the green.
bullied her.
The green.
Mine is Sapphire Heather, yours is Aurora Heather.
Aurora Heather. And I haven't gotten past the gauge watch. I do think I'm going to have to maybe go down.
Yeah, we're thinking Mom pulls on her stitches a little bit more than I do.
What time?
We won't be able to tell until you're finished with your swatch.
Yeah. This is very soft. And I had to buy 3 skeins because I had... she gave it to me a while back. And I had 10 skeins.
It was left over from Grandma's sweater, and I had vastly more than what I needed because originally I was going to crochet her a yoked sweater because I think hers had a hole in it or something. Because Grandpa kept stealing it, and then he put like a hole in her cuff or something.
Yeah.
Of one of her sleeves. So at that point, I was like, well, I'm going to make her another one. I'm going to make it so girly that he's not going to want to wear it. But the crochet one, I couldn't get gauge. So I ended up going with the knit one, which is why you have so much yarn.
Yeah. Yeah, she had 10 extra skeins, so I only had to buy 3.
And at that point, I was very new at crafting off of patterns. So I really didn't know how to gauge how much yarn I actually needed either.
So yeah, I've only got this much on the gauge swatch. But I started it, and I worked on it. And my husband was absolutely ecstatic that I'm making a sweater. So.
Although he's disappointed you went one without buttons.
Right. So
For some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so to further prove my absolute insanity, I decided what I absolutely needed was a 4th sweater on the needles. This did not used to be uncommon. The old-time members do recall all this.
Long-time members?
Long time.
You said old time.
I did?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, I am using...
Another blue one.
Yes. This is, for some reason, I know I have so much blue yarn for sweaters. I was trying to get the perfect yarn for work.
Oh, right.
A work
It
sweater.
had to be blue, yeah.
And it had to be blue. Now, I'm sure I picked up this one I didn't choose, actually, though. This one got sent to me. I can't remember how many skeins Cascade 220 sent to me. Back, not Cascade 220, Craftsy. It was back when Craftsy would send, like, randomly, if you bought enough from them, they would send you, like, a free a box of, like, yarn.
Yeah, I got one time. I got a couple.
Oh my gosh, I got several. It was
Yep.
crazy. I still have some of the Italian yarn they sent me because
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do with it. But this, they sent me, like, it wasn't just like one skein, it was like a crazy amount.
they gave you a box.
Yeah, and it was of this one. I think I might have had to supplement with a couple because I might have had a pattern in mind initially. But this is Cascade 220. I actually have trouble finding the Cascade 220 worsted in this colorway anymore. This is Puget Sound, color number 9487. I can find this in their DK. I had to search long and hard to find a worsted one.
Did you get it?
I found it, but I didn't need it.
Okay.
I had more than enough. Because that's why I was, like, rushing around doing measurements and doing math calculations, because it's like, if I didn't, I needed to make sure I could get that yarn if I needed it, because otherwise I would not be able to.
Right.
And this is another long time, like, stash. So, he doesn't usually watch this far into the podcast.
I don't think so.
So, one of my goals one of my desires have always been...
You gotta be quiet because he's...
Is that her?
I don't know. Just go ahead and talk. Just be quieter.
So, one of my longtime goals have always been that I wanted to knit my dad a sweater, but I didn't think he would really wear sweaters. He does wear the socks I knit him.
It was the scarf I did.
Yeah, I think once he realized that the socks wouldn't, like, combust or something if he wore them. And he really does like those, and he does wear he's always been good about the accessories. I just wasn't sure how he feel about the sweater, but confirmed with Mom that he wouldn't mind a simple pullover. So ecstatic, I went through my stack. Well, first of all, I looked through the most simple patterns I could find, and I had just finished telling Mom that it's been a very long time. Like, I mentioned it when we were looking for a sweater for you to start in replacement of the one from Little Women Knits. We were trying to find a pieced one for you, and we couldn't. But I just finished saying to her that day that it had been a very long time since I'd knit a piece or done any sort of piece sweater. I think the last one I'd done I actually been crochet. I'm not sure if I actually knit a piece sweater at all. I think I only crocheted one. Regardless, I found this pattern on Lovecrafts, and it's a really this lady is amazing. Her name is Jen Hagan, Hagan. Well, it's Jen Hagan Design, and it's called the Fundamental Men's Pullover, and she has a whole fundamental collection now they are simple, but that's the whole point of them. They're
She has a lot of things.
She has a lot of them, but the ones that drew my attention were the fundamental ones. The fundamental ones are in pieces, and then you seam the pieces together, and also she doesn't give you a yarn weight. She gives you options. It's like she wrote instructions for, it was from sport to bulky. She wrote instructions for sport, DK, worsted, and bulky. And gave you all the different numbers for that. And she includes in there like
a worksheet.
A project worksheet where you can fill in all your numbers in there, so you don't have to risk reading the wrong number from your circling, because she also has a myriad of chest circumferences, like the largest amount I've seen in pattern that doesn't have like multiple ages in it. So I was really impressed. It took me a little bit to get gauge myself, but I just kept going up like she suggested, until I did get gauge. I ended up going with a US 10. And this is the back.
The back of the sweater.
Yeah, the back of the sweater. Yeah. So this is the first piece.
Very pretty. Very nice.
So, and it'll actually be fairly lightweight.
Yeah. See, when I start, they had the women's one, which I did pick up actually. If I start that, it'll be in a DK as opposed to a worsted.
Yeah. Now, because I actually have to go up needle sizes,
I might be okay.
You might be okay. with the range that they give, because you are a bit of a looser knitter than I am, and this lady appears to be a looser knitter than I am, whereas Joanna Johnson and I have a very similar gauge. So yeah, I did all this work last night because it took me a little while. I did like 3 gauge swatches before I hit on the right one. So yeah, it's 4 very different sweaters.
Yay.
So,
Okay, let me finish this here.
because apparently that was what I needed was...
And I wanted to start other things, but I said no. And we'll see if that self-control lasts for any length of time. Probably not, but we will see.
Now, the thing that helps me with the sweaters and stuff is that I have sweaters worths of yarn just sitting in my stash.
Well, I'm not even talking about sweaters. I have
Yeah.
other things that I was like, oh, I want to do this. And you know what one of those are because I showed it to you. And I said, yeah, I've always wanted to do this. And it's not all shaped and everything. So I think I can do this. Where is my... Oh, there it is. Where'd it go?
What are you looking for?
My large stitch marker. Oh, here it is. Okay. Put this away since we're done doing projects. Ah. There we go. All right. Now.
Oops.
The bunny. Okay, let me put this in here. Okay. Now, we are moving on to... I don't have anything frog. Don't have anything. You have a FO, don't you?
Oh, I do, yes. I don't have any beads and string because...
Okay, and I don't have any graphic.
I mostly wanted to work on fairly simple projects. Because even though, yeah, sweaters, you might be like, that's complex. None of these sweaters are terribly hard. The most complex one is the lace one. I didn't work on that till today. So, excuse me. So, actually, this falls under shop news.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Then we have stash enhancements.
Yes, so I do have that as well.
So do I.
So,
What do you have?
a big bag of yarn.
Oh, right. I have tea.
So maybe tea before yarn?
That's fine. Okay.
Since we are a knitting podcast.
This is, I made an order to Plum Deluxe. Okay, with the purple package. And when I picked up, well, first off, they sent me a little sample of banana bread dessert too, which I really like, but this is a smaller cup, so I'm going to have to use this in a smaller cup. I have some more of that. And then they sent me...
Well, then you might not have to use it in a smaller cup if you have some more of it.
Yeah. I bought... two of the buttery shortbread herbal tea. That's the one I'm having today.
Right, because you can't run out of that.
Okay. And I got Italian wedding cake black tea. So we'll see if I like this one. Maybe Talia will if I don't. This has got black tea, green Rubio's tea, coconut pieces, pecan pieces, walnut pieces, vanilla, pecan, coconut essences, orange blossoms, calendula,
There's a lot in there.
safflower, has caffeine. So I might like this okay because it has a lot of different things in it. I like the name of it. Okay, I also got candy cane herbal tea, which is green Rubio's, peppermint, safflower, peppermint essence, love gratitude, no caffeine. I like this. I think is a seasonal.
It is.
But I want it because I've been having some issues with my stomach. So, and I like it. And then the last one I got was another one I'm not sure. We'll have to see if I like it or not. I got it once before and I didn't try it. It's white chocolate peppermint herbal tea.
I like it, so I think you probably will. Oh, that's actually not a really good point, but still, I think you'd like it. It's chocolate.
Rubio's tea, honeybush tea, peppermint, cocoa nibs, coconut flakes, white chocolate essence, no caffeine. So this one will probably be right up my alley.
Yeah, I think so. I really think it'd be something you'd like. And add a couple of chocolate chips to it.
Yep.
After, the first try. You gotta try it by itself first.
Try it by itself first. I might even put in the peppermint one some little marshmallows on the bottom.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I did it the other day for one of the other ones.
Yeah, but you should have put it on the bottom.
No, I should have. But the problem is, it'll still float to the top regardless.
Yeah, but it won't necessarily be as difficult.
Yeah.
I mean,
As it
especially
turned,
if you put it underneath the sugar, it might not float.
True. It didn't end up being a problem.
No.
But, okay, so I did get, I had mentioned one of the other projects I had to buy yarn for.
Can you go through everything?
So, I don't have that one to show, the yarn that I had picked up for that project to show because it's over there. But, they're all the same brand. I got some Dishy because I need more colors. This one is the colorway Mint. So nice, very light green. Then this one's really nice. I had mostly like more muted colors previously with some like mostly like pinks and things like that. So I needed to get a little bit more bold. I need some bold colors. So this one is also Dishy, and this color is blue, very creatively. I would have called it cornflower or something, but they went with blue. I've been wanting to get this red one for a while. This is their Fiesta Red. I had held back because I wasn't sure really if a red dishcloth would have much of a place. I don't know. I wasn't sure if anyone would want a red dishcloth because I don't really keep them. Rarely I keep them. Usually I send them to charity. But I wanted to have some red available. White. Oh, I had to get a replacement of this one because I do tend to use this one a lot. This is Begonia. This one is Clarity. This is that kind of silvery color. Oh, this one, I like having this one as well. This one's Dewdrop. It just provides that little bit of a light blue color, a hint of it when you add it with another color. And then I tend to use this one a lot too, which is my blush. I tend to use this with Begonia. So yeah.
You have a nice fade. Give me that one, please.
Okay, wow. Give it.
Give. You have fade here, and you have a fade here. Very cool.
Mom's just enjoying it right. Did you my yarn on her lap? Can I have my yarn back, please?
No.
You heard that, just give, right?
Give.
Yeah. Got some caveman manners going on there.
Well, it looks like I got some whiteout on myself.
Oh.
Yesterday or something. It's not
Punishment for saying give.
No, that was beforehand.
Yeah, but it was like...
Then I was entitled. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. I guess we're into autobiography.
Yes. Well, no, we usually do shop before autobiography.
Right, shop.
Shop is usually the next...
Okay. Do you want to go first, or do you want...
Well,
you have something. Go ahead.
Well,
I just have verbal. Go ahead.
We'll do verbal first because usually we save anything to show for last.
Oh, whatever. All right. I haven't put anything... I did make a couple sales.
Yay.
I was really happy. I got a sale from the Knitters Guild thing that I did, the Shenandoah Knitters
So that's
Guild.
already nicely...
One person came and bought something. That was nice. And I got another sale from somebody else. So I was really happy about that. I know that I'm a little low on stock right now. I still have to take pictures and things, and I hope to get that done. I'm not going to put a time frame on it because I don't know when it's going to get done. But I am going to start dyeing yarn again. I have to start thinking about some spring colors and things
At least
like that.
things are settled in this room now.
Yeah, well, basically, I still have a little bit of a mess here.
Yeah, but it's not like it was.
Well, what happens is I need my husband to help me to position some things. I have a box of things that once the little shelf that I had holding it is up, then I can put that box of stuff will be out. Mm-hmm. And then I have my bulletin board to put up. And when that'll be another thing out. And then the rest of the stuff I just have to kind of piddle with and see what I can get rid of and what I can keep and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be basically done. And then the only thing that's going to kind of impact my crafting and my writing at the moment is I have to get paperwork done for my business license and for Davina's SSI and SSA.
Oh, and then also we have taxes coming up.
Yeah. But usually if I'm doing my business license stuff, that kind of pretty much gets...
Yeah, I think my business license has a little while before.
Mm-hmm. And I was really surprised for the first time ever I received from Etsy, like, I guess it's similar to a W-2.
It looks like it.
Yeah, similar to
It
a
was
W-2.
very delightful.
Yeah, it was really exciting to have something that can say, hey, here's what happened in my shop.
Right, it made it a lot easier because then you just had to keep track of Lovecrafts.
Lovecrafts and my stuff from Knitter's Magic.
Right. Well, I have Lovecrafts and Patreon. Mm-hmm. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Let's see, my turn, you said? All right.
Do you have anything else for shop?
Yeah, I guess I did my shop, so that's
So it's
it.
my shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so those of you who have been keeping an eye on the threads or who are Patreons already know about this. I put up a new pattern for testing. The slots filled the first day on Patreon, which is why anyone who is not Patreon didn't see it any slots available. I give Patreons first dibs. They get about a week to half a week jump on everybody else to try to get into slots. And then if there's slots available, then they're filled by everybody else. It's just one of the perks. But this time this filled a lot more quickly than I've had one fill in a long time. This is the Cleaning Guru
Love
dishcloth.
that. So cute.
So, it is a mosaic pattern. It's actually kind of potato chippy to knit. Yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out.
I like it.
The plan is for it to be released about a month from now, unless people finish earlier, in which case it will be released earlier for purchase in my Etsy shop.
So pretty.
So, and Mom's had the pattern for a while.
Yep.
So
I
I
haven't
have
started it yet, but
I have no guilt for not giving her that particular one. It doesn't match our kitchen.
want it. Want it all.
This one is going to Brittany.
Okay. Now, going on to autobiography writing, I have made some progress on the shared story. I'm at a point now where I have to write new material. I mean, it's all new material, but not responding to other things. I am actually going to be initiating this section. So that's fun because it'll stretch some muscles I haven't had to stretch much in a while. And I'm still reading, I'm doing Daily Prayer 2021 and Mother Teresa. I forget what the name of the book is, but I like that. And I'm continuing with the Dragonback series by Timothy Zahn. I think I'm probably close to finishing that second book, maybe 2/3 of the way through. And let's see, Bible in a Year, which is a little bit, Bible in a Year and Flourish, I've kind of put to the side right now because we're doing other things for Lent.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not getting a lot of use. Instead, I'm doing the Lenten Companion Year B and Mother Thecla, which is a Pauline book. I'm reading, I started Blessed Are the Stressed by Crabby Mystic. That's the same lady who wrote the Complaining Saints. And I finished Lord Teach Us to Pray. But I think I will continue to go back to that because there's a lot of really good information in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up, well, I haven't picked up, but I have on my wish list another book that I will start reading when I finish Blessed Are the Stressed. I find I read a lot more quickly when it's on Kindle because I'm usually reading on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, before I go into what I've been reading myself, I haven't really done much in the way of writing. When I've been awake, I've been either trying to read and knit or getting last minute things ready for this for the starting of editing a big video that I'm the tech person for the Annunciationists. So, and designing. Not this week though, not so much. Oh, not the right book. So I also, you guys know that I have been rereading Jane Austen. So, I started having videos about her pop up on my feed, not because Google was being creepy, but because I had searched something for her. I can't even remember why I had searched for something. Honestly, it might have even come up simply because I also watch things by history. Mm-hmm. Regardless. So I watched a video about her and then a bunch of first just related to her and then other booky kind of podcasts popped up. So I guess like the book community's version of what we do here. Mm-hmm. And someone had mentioned, she's called Sick of Reading. She's chronically ill and she has a booky podcast. Now, I don't think she and I have much in the same. I think she reads different things than I would enjoy reading. But I just watched like what the things that she does on the kind of books I do like. But she was mentioning something she was doing where she was gonna keep a book journal where it was. She wouldn't care about how messy it was. She was not gonna let a perfectionism bother it. She was just gonna go with it. If there's crossouts, there's crossouts. She wasn't going to waste yet another pretty book by wanting it to look just Instagram perfect. Now, I wasn't much into the idea of just doing a book one, but it was just sitting there in my brain, and I was like, well, if I do a hobby one. So, like, what I ended up doing is I have each day, and the order will change based on when I happen to write it in here. It'll have, like, my knitting and crocheting, and then also the books I've read. And it's also, my idea is it's to encourage me to read more, because if I notice I haven't read a whole lot that day, it probably means I'm wasting time on YouTube.
How much time are you wasting? Yes.
So, kind of keep myself accountable. And I am perfectly capable of reading and knitting at the same time. I do it frequently. So, that being said, there is a list of books. Continue reading some of Queens of the Conquest by Alison Weir. I really need to finish that book. I've been reading it a while. Mom and I are reading together. Well, not together, but we're reading it and then talking about it later.
Oh, I've got the other one too.
You talked about Ascension.
Yeah, I didn't talk about Jesus, the Way, Truth,
Oh,
and
well,
Life.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Ascension Lenten Companion, Year B, by Father Mark Topes.
He's excellent.
And then the one that Mom was talking about is Jesus, the Way, the Truth, and the Life by Marcelino d'Ambrosio. Mm-hmm. Yes, he might be Italian. Mm-hmm. Then Complaints of the Saints by the Crabby Mystic.
That's the same lady who did My Blessed Are the Stressed.
Yes. Solace in Suffering, Wisdom from Thomas à Kempis, Imitation of Christ. I ended up... Now, I found it for, like, it was either free or, like, 90 cents or something like that. I'm pretty sure this one's actually free. It's East of the Sun, West of the Moon, and other, like, Slavic folk tales. I had heard of East of the Sun, West of the Moon from a Great Courses class where they were talking about storytelling. And it's still a good story the way that it's written, but it really emphasizes how much more a verbal tale, especially if they keep the bare bones, but they elaborate with their own inflections and their own mannerisms and things. Like, I have a vivid memory of the way the lady told it in the class, and it doesn't completely match the way that it is in the story.
It's funnier.
And, like, this, she put also some undertones to things that makes it stick in your head. So it's still a very good story. I would suggest, if you've never read or heard of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, to check out that particular fairy tale. It's kind of like a mixture of, like, a Beauty and the Beast, Psyche and Cupid type thing, but Slavic.
Don't tell her anything about it, because then the...
No, that's all I'm saying. It's Slavic. And I do tend to like the Norse, Slavic-y, I love Norse mythology. I've tended to like their kind of fiction. And by fiction, the fairy tales and all that. Okay, so, forgot that I read a little bit of Praying the Rosary Like Never Before by Dr. Edward Sri. Scrolling up. Okay, let's see. I also have read... Oh, that's right. Through my glasses, I can't tell what I've highlighted properly. I finished Nurse Come You Here, More True Stories of a Country Nurse on a Scottish Isle. Liked the first book better, but that's only because toward the middling end of the book, they took them out of the Scottish Isle, because that's actually what happened. And then they were, like, in the U.S. and stuff like that, and I wanted them back in the Scottish Isle. For absolutely no reason. The storytelling was the same. It was still good stories, but I wanted them back in the Scottish Isle. So I was disgruntled the rest of the book.
She was mad. She was trying to spoil Buddy Stomp.
So I finished that one. The lady also has a third one that I do own, but I set it aside for a little bit. I also finished Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Once you get to a certain part, it's really hard to put the book down. And I was actually having to force myself to go to bed each night in order to, rather than continue on with the book. Very hard. Then I found, while I was on Goodreads, favoriting classics, because I picked up a ton of free classics off of Amazon for the Kindle. And I was just adding things to my Goodreads to read list when I was upping my reading goal. And I discovered, and I now have, the, it's called the Miss Bates Trilogy. They are supposed to be prequels to Emma, and as the author herself said, is like, look, I'm not trying to mess with anything that Austen wrote. I'm not changing the story that comes after. I'm dealing with more minor characters before. So it deals with Mrs. Bates and Miss Bates, who are both impoverished ladies in the original Emma. So I started the first one in the trilogy, which is Miss Bates of Highbury, and the book is by Ali Cresswell. So if I'm enjoying it, I mean, she's no Austen, but she's good. You know, she is definitely trying to keep with the way that they wrote during the time, so it is more narrative versus a more modern tone. But I appreciate that, because I think if she'd adopted a more modern tone of writing, it would have been jarring, because I know that this is supposed to be of that era. So she's doing a very good job trying to keep, even if she can't be Austen, she's trying to keep Austen's feel throughout it, and I appreciate the effort. And I think she's doing a good job so far. I'm starting to get pulled in a bit, and I look forward to seeing where it leads. I've seen a young Mr. Knightley, and by young I mean a kid. That's probably you might see a couple of the main characters younger, but it's not going to be like Emma herself. If anything, Emma might be a baby, is my guess. So yeah, there's that. I'm looking forward to seeing where its new trilogy leads. I'm just not able to do a whole lot of action reading consistently when I don't know what's coming, because sometimes it actually flares me. So
Right.
I'm trying to read more gentle. And if I found someone else who's kind of Austen-y in her feel and her pacing, I'm very interested in that, because that kind of seems to be where I'm at right now.
And we think that some of the things that Talia stumbled across might be good for Davina. Because I found a set of books that Davina is reading, and they're not the same kind, but they're less children's books. They're more like maybe young adult-ish. She is reading a time travel thing. Right now it's for Robin Hood, but it also leads to the Saints later on. So she really is liking that, and we're hoping that was it Miss Bates that you liked? Was something else you liked?
It was the Miss Bates when we were
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
that. Once I finished reading that she might be interested in.
Kind of get her away from some of the other things that aren't quite as good for her, and
Because some of the young adult books out there are questionable.
well, some of the comics are questionable.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything that's personal?
no, I don't think anything particularly
Yeah, I don't think
personal.
so. I think we have our Zoom next Friday.
Zoom is next Friday, and then the first Friday of the month is the Patreon
live stream. Yes. So we have our extra things for the Patreons coming up next Friday and the following Friday. We want to wish you all a very blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. If you are having difficulties with the weather and the storm and all that, we wish you the best. Keep safe, stay warm if you can. Try and find a place that has heat and all that kind of stuff. I know that Texas has got warming centers and stuff, and we're thinking and praying about you. If and for all of us who are still dealing with the pandemic, we wish you well. All our thoughts and prayers with everybody. We want to look forward to having you here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. We want to thank the people who commented on YouTube
Yes,
and
thank
in
you.
the group. If I missed anybody, it's because I didn't see you before I put the show notes together. I want to thank Brittany, Looney Hiker, Wendy MacGyver, Chronically Crocheting, Renna, Steph, Cara, I think that's how she says it, Meditative Crafter, Wombat of Doom, Pat, Donna, Barbara, Joan, Stephanie, and Lori. Thank you very, very much for your comments. We really appreciate them. We love hearing from you.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 442, and that's a wrap.